Basic income. I understand that we need it, but how do we pay for it? If you understand Commonwealth, you will know the source of basic income. Commonwealth refers to the profit in which the extent of contribution cannot be calculated and thus does not belong to anyone in particular. To whom does profit from land and oil belong? Don't we have a share in the profit made by Google and Instagram through our postings and pictures? Because Commonwealth does not belong to any particular person, the profit generated from it should be equally distributed to everyone. Thus, Commonwealth is the basis for basic income, which is about distributing everyone's share to everyone. Shall we take a look at the types of Commonwealth in more detail? Types of Commonwealth. 1. Natural Commonwealth. The ecological environment, such as the land, sun, water, and air. Things that derive from nature, such as oil and coal, are referred to as natural Commonwealth. Alaska invests a part of its oil revenues to the Permanent Fund and pays the operating profits to all its residents. This is because they believe that every part of Alaska's land and what is beneath it are common property of the residents of Alaska, and everybody has rights over them. In the natural state, the soil is a common property of humanity, said Thomas Paine, a founding father of the U.S. He thought of a landowner as someone who owes the basic ground to the community, and stated that an inheritance tax must be collected from landowners and distributed to everyone. If we apply Thomas Paine's thoughts to the world today, we can think of collecting land ownership tax and allocating it. Types of Commonwealth. 2. Artificial Commonwealth. Recently, the importance of artificial Commonwealth, such as big data, is increasing. Location information transmitted by smartphones, internet search history and purchase history, offline activities related to health, exercise, and even education are accumulated as big data through apps and become a huge source of profit. Automatic translation services that convert any language to another utilize tens of billions of translated words on the internet. AlphaGo, which shocked the world in 2016 by defeating Sei-Do Lee 4-1, used the tens of millions of data saved on the internet for deep learning. Who do you think contributed to the sales of Facebook? What would happen if no one connected to Google? What would happen if no one uploaded videos on YouTube for just 3 days? Like this, platform companies are using something that is owned by all of us without cost. From now, a data dividend policy that pays basic income by taxing profit from big data should be implemented. Types of Commonwealth. 3. Historical Commonwealth. There is also the historical Commonwealth, an accumulation of humanity's common effort, such as knowledge and systems, that is handed down. Isaac Newton, the father of the scientific revolution, said, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." Newton had already known about Commonwealth. And one more thing, there is also basic income that aims to protect our Commonwealth. Carbon dividend from carbon tax. As environmental pollution is getting worse due to the rise in carbon emissions, if we impose taxes on carbon emissions and pay the revenues in the form of carbon dividend, we can reduce carbon emissions and help the livelihoods of low-income earners who may be burdened with carbon tax. Switzerland began imposing carbon tax on fossil fuel used for heating since 2008. CHF 96 is imposed on 1 ton of CO2. Money collected this way is paid as an annual dividend of CHF 76.8 to every individual who has lived in Switzerland for 3 or more months. As a result, between 1990 and 2018, the use of fossil fuel for heating decreased to 71.9%. Basic income. The need for it has been sufficiently proven, and we have an abundant revenue source known as Commonwealth. Now is the time for us to change. If we commit ourselves to introducing basic income, we can bring basic income much closer to reality.